episode of the Growth Plate.
In the end, we leave the table better. We feed your mind. Growth is up to you. Growth is up to
In
you.
this episode of the Growth Plate.
In the end, we leave the table better. We feed your mind. Growth is up to you. Growth is up to you.
It's my.
Welcome to the Growth Plate, where brothers chop it up on things you like to talk about behind closed doors, where we dish up the conversations from different viewpoints. We leave the table better. We feed your mind. Growth is up to you. Brothers, today on the Growth Plate, I'm excited about this topic. But before we get going, how you feeling? You ready to go?
Let's get bigger.
Reese? Hey.
Yeah, it's hard to come off that one. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's get into it. Interpersonal relationships. I tell you, I've talked to a couple people before we recorded, talked to a couple people, and when I said interpersonal relationships, what do you think? They went, So we want to just open it up and let's get going.
Let's open it up.
It's important for all of us, interpersonal relationships. We know we're talking about relationships, but what is this interpersonal stuff?
Well, I mean, in the last 20, 30 years, they've changed different definitions. Because and actually, I didn't study this well, but I'm pretty in the ballpark. Because of laws and categories, it became like one of the foregrounds was domestic partner violence. Domestic violence used to be domestic violence. Then the word was different meaning. Then it was demeaning because it was a domesticated partner. So they switched it all and said, okay, interpersonal relationships, and more so intimate partner stuff. So now interpersonal relationship is what you and I have, or us and just regular people at work. That's interpersonal.
Right.
Intimate partner
Whole different ballgame.
now you're talking about more than likely someone in the house that's involved in a bio, psycho, social, intimate relationship where everything is intertwined.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
Your whole life is. Okay. You ain't just going to work.
Right.
And coming home, you everything. So from my work frustrations to what's cooking on the dinner to I get angry at you. So it's a whole almost ecosystem by itself.
So we could say basically that this is the special person in your life or the significant other.
I would say even deeper than that is the significant other who you share ecosystem with. You know what I mean? It's who everything pretty much revolves around your day-to-day decisions. From what you eat at night to what medicine you take, or just really, really deep and intimate.
Yep.
So is interpersonal relationships, is that a romantic or it doesn't have to be?
Interpersonal doesn't have to be. Intimate partner
is what I meant to
leans
say.
more to romantic. It also can be, I think that's more romantic. I'll do the checks, but if it leans to you live at home with your mom, then it may lean that. I have to clarify.
Okay.
But I guess what we're talking about right now is intimate partner, spouse,
Right.
girlfriend, because there's a lot of room for that too. A lot of people just think intimate is just I'm married. No, we got a lot of boyfriend girlfriend drama that people ain't even married.
Right.
To trying to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a definition for it, but the definition is pretty much if you share that entire ecosystem, biologically, economically,
Right.
all those other Canese,
Right. Right.
that you share in the same ecosystem.
So this goes beyond the hookup. This goes beyond, taking a trip together and then maybe leave afterwards. You split afterwards.
It can get there too. It depends. The length of time doesn't necessarily mean less impact. Let's just talk about law again. If you date somebody for a week and there's a unlawful thing to happen, it ain't like you can say I was just there a week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, you know what? I was just weak, so it wasn't nothing. No,
Okay.
it was whatever it was,
Right.
for that at the time, and that person could be impacted for a long time.
So for me, when I think interpersonal relationships, I'm thinking somebody you want to build with.
Intimate or interpersonal?
Intimate.
Okay.
Intimate partner. Somebody
Intimate partner.
you want to build with. Somebody you are looking down the road, not necessarily, with the end in mind, like, oh my God, we're gonna get married and we're gonna be together for as long as we live and yada yada yada. No, just somebody that you want to build with.
I think that that's probably more a product of your personality and who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Now.
Or now. I mean,
Right.
maybe back in the day you wasn't thinking like that, but I think your perception of, what are we saying, intimate partner for you is we're gonna build something together.
Right.
We're gonna we have a goal in mind, or maybe not. You said not an end, but we have something in mind, and I'm thinking maybe that intimate partner can include what you call less serious
Oh, yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
Some people that are not goal oriented or want to build anything.
Right.
Yeah.
There's people that might have found themselves together for, because gas is high. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
remember that time you dropped me off at Church of Chicken? I was feeling you. You know what I mean?
Rent is tough.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So
Right.
we may have to intertwine, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
we can cross that romantic,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, that the romantic threshold.
Right.
But it may not just be goal, or it may be circumstance driven.
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
saying?
It might be something you don't even know driven. Like, I'm going to tell you what drove mine.
See, here we go.
A lot of what drove my relationships early to be intimate to what you're talking about. Man, actually, perception really messed me up. How I looked was more important to my family, and particularly my mother, than it was I'm 17, 18, 19 years old, and it's very human and natural to be selective at that age. You can't see what you see at a particular type of age and event from somebody. That's what got me into trouble, to be honest.
You lost me, man. You
Well,
talking
no,
about
wait,
what
yeah.
you look like,
If
or
I'm
what
no,
other
if I'm
people look
if no, what I look like. Are you a cheat? Are you a Rolling Stone? A lot of that
okay.
stuff came, that judgment
Right.
comes early for us
Right.
as men.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I've had that conversation with my mother.
Plenty of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's more than likely because of their situation. But what are we talking about when we talking about 17, 18, 19 in a committed relationship that has no infidelity and it's all true? What are we talking about?
I don't know. I know we've tried several times to record this podcast, and we have hours of footage that ain't never seen the day of light.
Right.
Because, and I was just telling you about this, because when you talk about these things, it's very difficult not to bring your personal experience in.
Right.
To try to convey a point. I mean, we're recording a podcast, so we're giving out information and we're showing our conversation. We're trying to get, we're trying to gain some knowledge, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
We're trying to see it from a different perspective, but it's hard to do that without saying, hey, back in 1993 when I was with Whoop-de-Woo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
Hey.
And then when you start telling,
Well, y'all put your filters on.
you see?
Y'all put your filters on.
You see?
Because you already slipped. You almost started to slip
No, I
already.
didn't. I don't.
Look, I'm gonna put my filters on for $49.95. I think if we can be, I've come here in life, the next life, to become completely candid.
There you go.
Dig that.
And
Dig that.
completely, and the reason is somebody at 17 and 18, 19 can maybe liberate themselves with this information and not feel trapped. Because I felt with feeling that way, I felt a lot of shame. But that shame doesn't necessarily absolve me from the other person's intent.
Right.
Like the 19-year-old, 18-year-old girl that I was dating at that time wasn't trying to get married.
Right.
You know what I mean? But here I am trapped into a situation where I'm trying to pour my heart out at the wrong time. We talking about biologically, that ain't no time to be talking about building something at all.
Probably not, because you don't know.
Right.
There's so much left for you to know.
Right.
So what you
it's so
trying
much
to,
change. And
Yeah.
now we
Yeah.
know like what change is.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
imagine the change between you left your mama's house
Yep.
in that campus between 21 to 27, 30 to 35, man, we are constantly evolving. They say biologically that women are more mature than us because of their bodies. We don't necessarily mature until after 25.
Right.
So that's the reason for lots of my stuff.
So what,
you gonna blame it on immaturity now?
I'm sitting here and I'm listening to what you're talking about. You know, I'm thinking about being, you know, late teens, even early 20s.
Yeah.
And all I'm thinking about is the stuff that I thought I had in my mind for relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
where it was, you know, oh yeah, there was no plan. There was
You
no
dated for the intent.
There was exactly.
Right.
And there was no thought of, you know, I'm just gonna play the field for a little bit.
Right.
But I did hit that point.
Right.
But throughout all of it, you got those voices in the back of your head.
Yeah, man.
Those teachings that we
Yeah.
got, like you said, from when you were young. And how do you become aware of those voices while you're in these relationships? Because those are the things that seem to drive us the most.
Absolutely.
Is, like you said, that influence from family and parents. And then you got your boys or your
Oh,
friends
good Lord.
who are telling you, oh, you should be doing this right now. And you should be doing that right now. Screw a relationship, because you should be out there, you know, out there in the field, you know, doing blah, 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 blah. Where were you at as far as awareness then? And when did you start to see some awareness of, okay, you know, I'm digging where I'm at right now. And, you know, how do I get along with this person that I'm with right now?
I mean, no awareness. You talking? I
said
mean,
no.
no. I mean, I think you were talking about early. We talking late teens, early 20s, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
At that amount of time, I'm just gonna say it for me, and then I'm not gonna say too much, but I'm gonna say I didn't have any awareness. No awareness, man. We just here. We're here. We trying to have fun. We,
Got you.
you know,
Got
we trying to. There's so many things coming at you. You're not in your mama house no more. You know, you're your own person. You know, you gotta. We went to school. We went to UNLV, right?
Right.
So we were in college at the time. Right. So you got that. You know, you got all the other things you're trying to do.
And
So I'm listening. I'm hearing
and how about this?
awareness, and all I'm thinking is, you left some broken hearts in the wake. Many a broken heart. It sounds like.
Probably.
yeah,
Probably.
Well, I mean,
That's just what it is. I mean, that's just what it is. When you're young and you're trying to do the right thing, you know, you think you're doing the right thing, but
right.
you don't really know.
Right.
You have no clue as to what you're doing. And the other point is, neither does the other person on the other end of that equation, right? So for me, it was young women. And no, man, they had no clue either. Even if they was faking like they knew, they didn't know nothing.
No.
We two know nothing people trying to do something, but you know,
what we are tethered by and bound by, unfortunately, is a bunch of rules that don't mean nothing to the game. And that, so we get in there and everybody want to kick the soccer ball, and everybody got golf clubs on the other side. They're telling us how to kick the soccer ball. So we talking about if you know anything now whatever TV land, if you know anything now, you know it is way too complex to be talking about this my girlfriend and this my boyfriend without ecosystem, biosocial systems, where you come from, how much trauma you done had, attachment binds off of one date. You have no idea that none of that exists at all. You just know that this person feels good and they make me laugh.
Right.
feels good.
Damn.
That's what we was trying to do. Hey, he just said it. Feels good.
Feels good.
That's all
What else would
anybody
it
was
be?
trying to do at that time.
Right.
What feels good? Ain't nobody trying to see what your credit score is. We're trying to see what, you know what I'm saying, what career you're in. We're not trying to see what your parenting skills are. We ain't got none of that.
Bro, I ain't got none of it.
Does it feel good?
Yeah,
that's all.
See,
That's
I'm
all we
thinking,
When she touched me, do it feel good?
That's the only
You know
measure
what
I
I'm saying?
got.
When she smiled at
CJ
me,
taking
do
it
it
straight
feel
to-
good?
No, that's all I got.
That's just what it is.
Hey, I don't have, what do I have?
What are we talking
When-
about?
well, here's the thing. I use the word happy,
Okay.
but
Can't
You're right.
be happy without
At
feel
that
good.
age, at that age, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
The two are highly intertwined.
Exactly.
Can't have happiness without the feels good.
Yes.
I say this: you can't have that emotion without the biological part of that at all. One thing that I've come to in my studies, I've come to to love is affect. Affect. What your face is telegraphing from the emotions and inside of your body is telling you. Whatever is going on here biologically and chemically, it's always going to show up on your face.
Okay.
So those who try not to have it show up on your face are psychopaths.
Psychopath. We right here, man.
Hey, because if you like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
Right. Right.
So now what you got in those relationships at 14 and 15, you got all smiles.
Right.
You got all because you make me feel like this.
Yeah,
You make me feel happy, and we do this. Hey, let's get together. Okay. But some of my early relationships was just, hey, you're funny. Let's go.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So at what point did you start to, I'm going to use the word, mature
Yeah.
and start looking at more than just feels good?
Yeah, yesterday, nigga.
Late in the game.
Way late in the game.
Way
Matter
late.
of fact, after my second divorce, I'm not available now. But
It's a nice ring you got there.
hey, it's nice. Second divorce is when I really dove into, and I would say I had more information to dive into, things that I would have thought of, even the first two times. I had to think about, I had to be intended on infrastructure, how somebody's past shapes them, the trauma that person goes through.
Man.
Yeah.
If they have a infrastructure to learn new skills. Infrastructure.
So I'm going to just throw it out there. You're talking about baggage. What baggage do they bring? What
well,
baggage do you have?
not only just baggage, because you can bring baggage and not be aware you have baggage. You just got bags and shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you have baggage, and here's a great word for all you guys who's trying to check out our stuff. Insight is what I'm looking for.
Right.
Insight. Right. I'm looking for the ability of somebody to have a problem and speak to that problem and say that I'm crazy. You know what? And I tend to do these things. And that way I can play, we can work with that,
Right.
because now you can recall those things. But if you ever been with somebody who has an emotional trauma,
Right.
a baggage,
Right.
and they don't know that they fly off the handle like this.
Right.
Right.
They don't know that they shut down.
Right.
They just closed off water. They don't know nothing about
They're just
that.
not even in any kind of control whatsoever. It's
And
all
no
being
emotional
done by,
regulation at
Yeah.
all. But and that emotional regulation ain't the capper.
Right.
It's not knowing that that's happening.
Right.
Is the
Yeah,
problem.
being oblivious.
Right.
Well, I would say let's say being unaware.
Unaware.
But oblivion comes when you say, hey, it's a problem.
Right.
And then you're like, ain't no problem for me.
Right.
No, that's denial.
That's not only that's delusion. Back to our last
Back to
week,
the-
back
back
to
to the-
delusion.
Yeah.
Knowing something that's sure, it's not even delusion as much it is unwillingness to change.
Right.
Much like the wheel of change, even introduced in NAA and AA and stuff like that.
Right.
Where are you at in the wheel of change? Are you in pre-contemplation, contemplation, action? Where are you at? Pre-contemplation, of course, is you the one got the problem.
Right. Right.
Now, how many relationships you've been in where you the one got the problem?
Right.
And you sitting here like, no. You ain't. The problem clearly is you burning up the house when you got upset, or you coming to my house, you coming to my car and bashing out my windows.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? That is a clear representation that you have crossed lines, but you don't say you crossed lines.
I think we're getting into it. I think that, first of all, you made a point about being a service to maybe some young people who maybe can avoid some certain situations by hearing some of the things we got to say. But I think now that we're getting into it, I think we do a disservice by even focusing on the young parts of our lives, right? Because I think we just established nobody knew nothing.
Man,
everybody's got to get through
except for one thing, trauma does show up early.
Okay,
So if you might have to address it in the fact that something happened to you early, something happened to me early, which
100%.
right, which changed my entire biological course.
Exactly.
It didn't change like who I was, but my body responded in a way
Very
that
different.
I was off and running. So that's
Yes,
different.
sir.
You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir. But I'm just saying, I think that we should, as for the purposes of this conversation, we should focus on the time where we feel comfortable that we were mature,
Right.
where we were, you know what I'm saying, we had some type of understanding.
Right.
And typically what comes with that maturity goes back to your point that you were saying, you become more goal-oriented.
Right.
So when you are in these, what do you call it, intimate partner relationships,
Right.
you looking for something that may sustain,
Right.
right? Because now you've been through
Right.
a few relationships, probably, maybe, and you know you're getting into the point where you're good in your career. You move. You want something that you can count on,
Right.
as
And
opposed to
Yeah.
changing them out every other week.
You got to add to me. You got to add
Man.
to me.
Talk about it.
And I want to avoid while I know that this person makes me better or adds to me, I also need to know, I'm going to be asking that question. What have you done for me lately? What are you bringing to the table? And those are the things, those questions, those things are the things that hit me, I would say early.
And let me break some.
Where I'm going, all right, I know what I want to do. I know I want to get into this field. I know I want to do this kind of work.
Right.
I know I want to have a place of my own, right?
Yes.
So what can you bring to me? How can you make me better? How can you lend into this? That's when I knew, okay, this is a more mature, forget just the feeling part.
Right, because the feel good is only the feel good.
Right.
The feel good can feel good in a burning house.
Yeah.
Because the feel good feel real good. You dig what I'm saying? So
we gonna get off of this feel good.
No, I'm just telling you, man.
Feel good.
No, because when you're younger,
Yeah.
you know that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
And as you begin to mature, you understand that even though that is an essential part, there's more other things. There's a lot other things. So you know what I mean? Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna interject both of you because I've already had 3 of these. So I can see my life flashing before my eyes on each one of them, except for this one. She's okay.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
But here you go.
Hitting the mute button right off the
Hey, here you go though. I don't require those things now.
You don't require what
things?
things?
I only require one thing: the ability to add skills and to subtract things that are harmful.
No, I don't.
He just went.
No.
I do not believe that.
I do. You know why?
I don't believe
because
that.
no matter what material thing I got, no matter what I encounter, no matter what house I got, I know we talking about this online. If I got $1 million house and somebody who ain't got no damn skills, interpersonal skills, behavior skills, and skills to adjust, it's gonna all fall down in the first place.
Right.
It don't matter what it's going to be. I can get you $1 million house. Everybody seeing Scarface. She wasn't happy as hell at all. She had she had all the drug money in the world. She wasn't happy. My therapist challenged me one day that blew my mind, and she said, "But what skills do you bring to the table?"
Okay, we need
And
skills.
I said, "No, it wasn't. Let's go get some. It was what skills do you?
What are you equipped with now?
Now, what skills do you
That's
have?
right,
And
right.
it was like."
Yep.
What skills do I have? I had to go digging deep about cooperation.
Yeah.
There's no, I don't do no, why y'all get me? I don't do no kingship up in here. Kingship is dead to me.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know how to cooperate and collaborate is even higher than cooperation. Cooperation is just,
So you don't require no feel good.
I mean, not when I feel bad.
No, because you said you only require one thing.
Because at that particular point, I felt great, and then I felt like I wanted to leave that. I felt it went plummeting. You got to surf that because it's not always going to be great.
It's not.
The challenge ain't great. The challenge is when everybody in here should know or does know. We're not talking about a relationship that is feel good all the time. We're talking about that dip.
No.
We talking about not even just a small dip. We talking about a long dip We talking about a long situation where you got to look at that person and say, I'm not going nowhere.
You good?
No.
He said, I'm talking about a long.
We talking about sustained upheaval that most people leave on. Most people leave on sustained upheaval. This is too long. I'm out of here. No, we're talking about I'm not out of here. This is a long conflict.
Right.
And I'm going to stay to the end. Now, you talking about the golden gate of getting there.
Right.
But it's that getting there. People fall off the boat as soon as we get one conflict.
Right.
I was in a relationship that had basically one conflict.
Okay.
And that was it.
Okay.
There was no go into that conflict and then solve that conflict and then look at each other. I'm doing that now, and I'm 53.
Right.
But you said then you didn't have the interpersonal skills.
I had the will. You don't have to.
Just the will.
No. I'm talking about like the availability to learn.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? How we talking about regular learning? This is why it's so important, because if you don't like learning,
Right.
you don't like. Let's go. Everybody's heard this. Let's go to therapy. How many ranges of answers do you get with that?
Yeah.
You know what the first answer ain't? Yeah, let's go. Let's go learn about our relationship.
Yeah. No doubt.
It's
I've done it before.
that.
It's excruciating.
Yeah, it's just that even that decision.
Excruciating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agony.
Hey, am I about to end?
That's facts.
Hey, that right there, I know it's hard to hear. It hears there's something wrong with me. It sounds like it's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Instead of there's knowledge that we need to get for more skills.
Yep.
Are you willing to read this book to add some more ABCs to your vocabulary?
Right.
That's the way it should sound. But if I've been like, no.
Right.
Hey, you're not willing to learn with me to further this relationship?
Some
To me-
people,
to-
some
to
people
me,
don't want to.
Well, to me, you're talking about bringing in something that we know is popular in many fields, growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And if you come into a relationship with a fixed mindset, you got what you got, this is it.
Yep, that's
and
tough.
I'm not changing.
Yeah.
You know,
tough.
Yeah, that's
that is the recipe for
Especially if
end.
those behaviors and things are maladaptive.
Right.
If they're causing
maladaptive, you got to go
Thank
ahead and
you.
explain that maladaptive.
where'd you learn that at?
Well, school.
So maladaptive is
I would
just-
say this because I look this up often. Clinical definitions of. So one of the thing that people kind of muddy is, when is it a problem?
right.
When is it a problem? Clinical problems are different than other, but let's just say in interpersonal talk. When is a problem a problem? When is a behavior a problem?
Right.
A behavior is a problem when it does significant harm to yourself or others, not necessarily just physically harm. But let's say you gamble, right?
Right.
And the lights on, food in the house, everybody get fed.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right.
Well, it's not necessarily cool, but it's not causing a disruption.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Not maladaptive yet.
Yeah. I mean, it could go like that. But
Right.
if you look up one day and you went to the table and you spent all the mortgage money
Right.
Right.
and now ain't no food in the house, well, that needs intervention.
That's the fear that most people have when we're talking about gambling. The fear is of the maladaptive. Right?
Because of what it's
where it can
already
become.
right. It's already gambling.
So there again
that's another
is,
story.
do you come in with a fixed mindset? I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't need to think. I don't need to learn. I don't need to grow. Or do you come in with a growth mindset of, I can work with you. I can work with you, and I'm also going to be able to look at me.
I think that's the point of maturity.
That-
That what you just
exactly.
said right there is just I'm maturing in the fact that, and I'm maturing in real time. I'm maturing in the fact that once I didn't even see, I ain't doing that
Right.
until I'm doing that. And then, you know what? That wasn't half bad in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually kind of like that.
Yeah.
As long as
You
we're
had to be
setting the
willing.
table, because I'm hearing us again, I just want to make sure we just remind how we're framing the conversation. As long as we're setting the table as what we're talking about is trying to have a sustained relationship,
Right.
interpersonal relationship, and a
To my
sustained
long-term.
intimate partnership.
Yeah, okay.
Correct?
Right.
Okay, so it goes out. I know some people are like, yeah, but what if I don't want to do that? Well, if you don't want to do that,
Then you're
this
not,
is,
you're not going to
you
do
know, this is useless.
Yeah,
Right? So
right.
we're talking about trying to,
Yeah.
we're talking about trying to develop
Yeah, that's a good word.
and keep a sustained relationship
Right.
with one where you can grow together. One, and you can have your partner. Now are we talking about one-on-one? Are we talking about?
Now you're going to talk about committed versus
mean,
exclusive and
yeah,
all of that.
It's
Definitions
important.
of it,
It's
yeah.
important.
I think
it's more about what you bring into any of those situations.
yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot to
Because
that.
you're still talking about relationships, even if you're talking about just dating or
Sure.
uncommitted. You're still talking about relationship. You're still talking about interpersonal skills. Can you communicate?
You still have
Can
an
you-
exchange.
Exactly.
And so that would be, so I was thinking, I don't know where the next part of this discussion is going, but I would like to talk about the top problems
Okay.
or
relationships?
in these type of relationships.
I
What
think that's
what is the
perfect.
main thing that you got to overcome in order to
You want to talk about that now?
get to the next?
That
Perfect segue is
Okay.
that word that I just used.
What's that?
Communication.
well, here's
That
one.
is not number. I don't know if you can rank them, but that's up there.
Very. I
Because
think so.
If you can't communicate, you got a problem no matter what kind of relationship it is.
I agree.
There's a study on that, and there's numbers on that actually that I closely follow when I'm in my that I got from my couples therapy. Some people know it, some people are starting to understand it. The John Gottman School of Couples. The basis behind the Gottman studies was the study. They actually, over time, what's the study? Over time, we get numbers,
Yep.
and we get characteristics from those numbers that say, in most possibilities, this is going to happen.
Yep.
So-
Google got
Yeah,
Gottman
John
Institute.
Gottman Institute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Google's
all
Gottman
they
Institute.
did for like the last 90 years is study relationships, basically.
Dang, you just aged them to.
Yeah, I know he's 150 probably now. But the
All
studies
good
are very
stuff.
interesting because he came out with 4 things that constantly show up in a relationship that cause it to doom.
Yep.
And he calls it the 4 horsemen.
Okay.
The 4 horsemen, of course, of the apocalypse. When they show up, you got problems now. You got to start looking at these things and eliminate them, or they're going to be a problem. I think off the top of my head is ridicule, contempt.
Gee.
Man, I forgot. Ridicule, contempt. And I probably have to look that up. It's on my phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look it up.
Yeah.
Actually, it's on my phone 4 times.
And it's funny as Reese is talking about this, I'm thinking about now. Granted, yes, we're talking about interpersonal relationships, but I'm thinking about mine, and I'm thinking about 28 years now of marriage. And when you start mentioning Gottman Institute, I've already read that book.
What you gonna tell us about your relationship?
I ain't going there. I'm dating some things. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I forgot
got
the
it here
name
too,
of
bro.
Gottman's book, but they have him and his wife have a book.
Yeah.
That was important.
Yeah,
But
I got it right here.
That's when I knew that I could go to a different place in a relationship
That's a good point.
versus just
point.
what I came in with.
Right.
I had to go, okay, let me see what these folks are talking about. Then you start looking at the four horsemen and going, am I doing those things?
Right. Hey, is that me?
Is that me? Also, men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah. Is that me?
Dang,
Is
am
that
I keeping points? Am I keeping points and I expect my payoff?
Hey,
You know,
Who keeps points, the men or the women?
both
in
of us
that book?
actually do. Both of
okay.
us actually do, but it's what you keep the points for.
Oh, okay.
Men keeping the points for the feels good. Hey, I'm supposed to be able to get this, and this. I took out the garbage. I did the dishes.
Right.
Where's my payoff?
Hey,
Okay.
My payoff is in the feel good.
Yeah.
You know.
Right, hey.
And
The
then
payoff in the feel
for the
good.
women is what they want is they want somebody who's gonna listen. Are you gonna listen to what I've got to say?
Okay.
Or are you gonna go into your bag of tricks
Right.
and try to manipulate me, to get what you want?
Hey, it's one thing. It's one thing in the earth I don't want is to be manipulated like that. Is it? You just hit me in my soul with that one. If somebody come over here and do one of these, you know what I mean? was your what?
Don't do that. Cut.
Oh no, that's good. That's good.
All right, hit us what you found out.
Now, it was funny about this. I was laughing because he was bringing up stuff. 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Definition: attacking the partner's character rather than addressing the specific behavior.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back over them too. Contempt is superiority, disrespect, and disgust toward the partner. That's horseman number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Defensiveness, self-protection through denial, excuses, and counterattacks. And 4 is stonewalling. Stonewalling is an emotional withdrawal and shut down during a conflict.
Yep.
Over time, and I'm not saying that this is everything, and it's definitely not the Bible, but over time, they put numbers in and said, this is what's happening in most of the relationships. Every time we spin this bowl around, these 4 things are coming out.
Right. And we got to add, Gottmans are talking about thousands.
Oh, yeah.
Couples.
Right. We talking about
Thousands.
over
Oh,
years, over a long time.
Right.
Okay.
Over different stages.
This is no small sample.
Yeah, it ain't
of-
not-
Very
Hey,
comprehensive.
these are people I know.
Yeah.
Right.
We're
No,
talking
this
about
is
40, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the
Right.
whole economic thing. So it was funny is because I think you said something about recognizing the skill you bring or something like that.
right.
Yeah.
What you bring to the table. Yeah.
So you get to criticism. You said, am I doing this? When you was talking about am I doing this? Am I doing this?
Right.
You're like, criticism. Yeah, you're criticism. You criticism all over your face. Am I doing that? Yes, you are. And then, you know what? I'm doing it again.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you off on the horse.
Right.
You off on the same thing you don't want to happen.
Right.
You criticizing the criticism
Right.
is great. You know what I mean? Are you criticizing me? Well, you criticizing me. Now we have a point where we can't communicate.
Right.
That's where communication.
Yep.
This spells communication. The 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse
That's exactly what I was about to say. Go ahead.
is communication. What stops communication is the question that we're answering. So we're talking about criticism. I'm not communicating with you effectively. I'm not telling you what my 2 things that really just pop out of my head. If you can't tell somebody what your needs are and express your feelings, you're never going to have a conversation.
Right.
If you have criticism and you always looking to find fault in that other person, then that person is going to do what? Get defensive.
Yeah.
Why are you acting defensive? Because you attacking me.
Right. That's what happens.
Hey,
That's
what
what
are we strangers for?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to go like, I'm not defensive. I don't feel that. You attacking me. I'm going to get defensive. Now, later down the line, you got to start mitigating that feeling.
Right.
But early, man, when we was doing this early, it was raw Band-Aids off of all this. How you going to criticize me criticizing something I ain't criticized?
Right.
So it went from there to contempt. Probably to me is like the biggest thing. I had a big problem with contempt.
Okay.
Superior disrespect and disgust toward the other. The moral high ground.
Mm-hmm.
You did something. Right. Somebody's going to do something. Right. And now you're just looking up for one-upsmanships. Now you're just looking up, like, since you did this, and of course, the biggest thing is cheating. Cheating is not, in itself, is not an end of a relationship. But it does breed contempt. It does breed the fact that, you know what? I ain't do nothing, so I'm just going to give you all this nastiness.
Right.
I'm going to give you all this criticism. I'm not going to give you nothing that's made of love because I'm hurt. I'm feeling defensive about something that we haven't solved. You know what I mean? So now, again, going back to your point, we're not communicating.
Right.
That's not effective communication or effective feeling. Look, I feel this way when that happens. Not you did this to me. You did this to me. Nah, you know what? You made me feel little. You made me feel disrespected.
All of this is good and what we're talking about, but you have to have a partner that's willing to communicate with you.
Didn't we say that in the first half hour? I think we said that, and then you said, no, what about this? No, that's exactly what
You said you require one thing. And we're going to go back.
Those couple of things.
You said I require one thing.
I
and
said
we can,
two.
DJ.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I
He
said
did.
two.
He
I
did
said,
say
well,
two.
you named
He did too.
I
he gonna
just
want
need
to
this.
take back.
He's like, I don't need any of that. I just need this thing. And I'm like,
I said the willingness
yes.
to go to explore your problem, insight.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have insight
Yeah.
to the problem. And then it would, trust me, there's another one. It's in there somewhere. We're gonna run the tape. but still, you got to have that willingness to go. But how hard is that though? How hard is it if you facing these 4 horsemen?
I've been in relationships. I'm not gonna say which ones. I have been where you try to communicate, right? Because that's me. That's I would think that would be one of my stronger points, right? I'll talk.
Hey, you gonna find out after this?
I'll talk through it. You know what I mean? At least I'll be willing to talk through it.
Right.
But if you have a person on the other end who don't, what are we talking about? They don't want to talk through it,
Right.
or don't have the ability to talk through
Well,
it.
here's another one. Just talking through it don't necessarily mean that you have the skill to engage in those conversations.
This is what I'm saying.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. So when you're getting into an interpersonal, intimate partnership, you guys have to have communication styles that go together. Because I've seen people make it a long time who actually don't communicate.
That right there is something that we were talking about in preparation for this recording, and that is you got to have 2 people who are willing
and skilled.
They can develop that skill.
They have
Exactly.
to be
At
willing.
least be willing. Be willing
You have to
to
be willing.
grow. And it might take, it's going to take some time,
Yeah.
and it's going to take some resources and
Yeah.
all of that. But it can't be, I'm just going to do what I came in with.
Right, absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
we come in with some stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, well, my parents were married for 40 some odd years.
Yeah.
I know what they did.
Here-
But you know what? I reached a point where I had to say, throw all that out.
Yeah.
Throw all that out, because that is not going to work for me in the situation that I have. So what do I want? I want an ideal. I want my own ideal relationship, or our own ideal relationship. That's where all of these skills come in, because we got to be able to communicate. Well, what the heck are you talking about? What do you want?
Right.
Where do you see
That's the
us
hardest.
going, down the line? Where do you see us? How do you see us
Right.
developing to that point? That's where you just heard it. Communication right there.
Well, let me-
Then to be able to ask the questions. We're already aware. So you got to go through, it seems like, this continuum. First, you got to start out with
Insight.
waking up,
Yep, insight.
some insight, waking up, and then you start with, okay, who am I? What am I contributing? Where am I going to go with this? How can I get better? Now, how can I help her get better? How can she help me get better? How can we continue to grow together? And then we start going to the other stuff, way down, the collaboration,
Collaboration
the
is
avoiding some of those, being able to say, I see it, I see the ridicule, I hear it. Now, we got to avoid it. When I heard you say this, I felt like this. It starts getting a little, how would you say, clinical.
Well,
Starts getting a little bit
absolutely. You know why?
clinical, but at the same time,
can.
that's where we have to go.
need to-
Why are we shouldn't be afraid of that.
Right.
We shouldn't be afraid of that growth.
Right.
But that's where we start hitting
Right. Below the belt.
we start hitting the barriers.
Yep. Yep.
Because it's like, oh, well, maybe now it's starting to get a little, I gotta really admit to
Yeah.
what I don't have or what I'm uncomfortable with. So for these relationships, these interpersonal relationships, man, you talk about us trying to get to the point where people are growing, whether they are, whatever point they're at. I don't care if you're in the feel good range
I don't
era.
want to lie.
Even if you're there, you still got to be aware. You got to have that insight to say, okay, if I want to see this person again, I got to be able to have conversation.
Right.
I got to be able to say, tell
But
me
where
about
does it
yourself.
start?
What?
See, this is my thing about, we're going to get, this is going to take a little minute and we can move on real quick, but where does it start? It don't start by you meeting a person and being like, ooh, she's willing communicator.
Hey,
No, it doesn't start
man,
there.
I have an answer
you
for
have, you have an attraction.
Yeah.
I have an answer. for
You have an attraction for whatever it is, and it don't necessarily have to be physical, but if you meeting a person, that's the only thing you know about a person is what you see out the gate. Now you start, now you start communicating or sharing the same space or doing all of that stuff. You might find out some other things, but you ain't just walking in blind, blind, not most of us that can see.
Yep.
and I'm not trying to laugh for people that cannot, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It starts somewhere, and I don't want to mislead any of the viewers or any of the listeners into thinking that, oh, you know, all you got to do is find somebody that's willing to communicate. Nah, man, you got to want that person.
What's your start? Because I might have a different start.
It starts with and ends with that what you just said. Our friendships started with overall positive regard. Overall, I like you. You're a person I just like to be around.
Right.
That's the roof of it. If I got overall positive regard, you and I know this. We're gonna get through it regardless what's going on. That's my man.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you got to get to that point.
Well, you can get to there. That's a tough one. You can do that. Sometimes you got it. Right. Sometimes it's just I like that person so much. You know who got overall positive regard? Women who go visit their men in prison. You know why? Because she likes that person so much that she's willing to do whatever. And we talking about dislike.
Did you get that on camera?
Did you get that? We talking about I just like you.
Yeah.
I like everything about you.
Right,
so I'm going to do whatever. Yep. Even if I'm mad at you, I'm gonna go back to over. I just like you anyway.
See, I'm gonna go a little bit sooner. And
okay.
When does this start? Because you just said something. You were like, I forgot what you just said, but
overall positive regard.
No. I like you.
Right.
We're gonna work this out. Basically, something to that effect.
Right.
But when does it start? Is when you sitting across from that person, and you got to have more to talk about than just the feels. Just the feels.
In the beginning?
What happened last night.
Some of us do.
Okay, so you might. But
yeah.
Let's say it's the next morning, and you sitting at the table.
Yeah.
What are you gonna talk about? Because if I don't like you, if we have a conversation, see, I'm trying to have some restraint here. If we have a conversation,
right,
and I don't even like what's coming out of your mouth for 5 minutes,
yeah.
Well, I know our relationship is going to have some limits.
Exactly.
It's going to be it's going to be feel good, and that's it.
And
that's it.
Right. Well,
and because the hope is going to fade over time, where I'm like, well, I hope she's going to say more than what she was talking about last time.
No doubt.
You know, we can have an extended conversation at least.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's where it starts. Can I have a conversation with? Do I like this person enough to want to talk about other stuff?
I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate here, or just
stuck
go ahead,
Beelzebub.
No, I'm not stuck on one thing. But I'm just saying there are millions and millions of people that like all kinds of different things. And you're talking from your perspective, and I say I'm talking from my perspective also. But some people don't like to be around people that talk.
You're right.
So you're talking about you need to have a conversation. What if you are in an interpersonal relationship, intimate partnership with a person who has very few words?
You're gonna have a limited relationship.
No, you're not. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Well, here's this.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have a limited relationship because you require conversation.
If you're talking, how far does this relationship? How far do you want to take this relationship? Because if you are with somebody who doesn't like to talk,
there's plenty of people like that.
You're right.
Yes.
Now let's look at some of these relationships. To me, not being able to talk, not being able to communicate is maladaptive.
Mm-hmm.
Because that leaves it puts more on the other person's plate to try to take this relationship anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's communication for anything.
Well, communication is one thing, but you just talking about having a conversation.
No, I'm using that as an example.
Hey, man, what are we going to talk about now? We done already got through the feel good. Now, what are we going to talk about? You like the 18? Or you know what I'm saying? You like the wire? You know what I'm saying? But I'm serious. But that's what I mean. So there's so many different types of relationships where people you might have two people who don't like to talk.
Right.
They don't communicate. You're a communicator. I know that.
You're right.
I am. I know that. That guy is. I know that. But there are certain people who are not, and they live happy lives, man, and they have sustaining relationships.
Well, we can assume they do, but
right.
But here's again. This is why I want to go on record for $49.95. that my prison love situation
Yeah.
is the situation, because it don't matter if you got somebody who has an overall positive regard for somebody who loves them just because. It don't matter if you're a communicator or not. I'm going to deal with you anyway. And I keep saying that
Right,
because
right.
I can't for the life of me figure out
Right.
why this lady goes up to that prison when this dude got 12 years all the time. She not getting nothing. She got overall
I've
positive
known
regard.
women like this.
She loves that person, and you can't measure it. You can't define it. You can't do nothing. Now, there's points in time, even that lady's going to need some communication or something like that. But even if you give her a little, like write a letter, he got a lot of time to write a letter.
Right.
So at that particular point, if I feel it anyway, because that's to me, that's the sauce. I just feel you. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like, it's just something about you that I will break down my barrier. I've been stupid for relationships of people who really didn't. They call it unrequited. So I was loving somebody who didn't love me in the back, but that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully you get somebody that matches that feeling. I absolutely have somebody that matches that feeling.
Yep.
And it was time for me to let go of all the apprehension I had, because it's like, well, you showing me positive. You just showing me you like me. Mm-hmm. Now I got to show you that I like you. You know what I mean? Like I have to have that same feeling of, let's call it this, vulnerability.
Yes.
That's a huge word.
And
That's a
even,
huge word.
Even if you, I'm trying to go back to that relationship where there's no communication. One person has to communicate, and the other person can communicate, not necessarily verbally.
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
So they are still communicating.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Your prison situation, the fella or whoever is still saying, I want to see you.
Right.
Or I haven't heard from you. I look forward to your letters.
Right. Right.
There's the communication. There's the communication. Now that other person is communicating probably a whole lot more, but at the same time, there's still an exchange.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
if you got somebody that's just using you, using the
different.
other person,
Yeah, that's
different. I don't think the relationship is going anywhere.
But check this out. Even if somebody is willing to be used, I'm talking about, like, I've been there.
Just keep on using.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's the feeling of, I'm going to give you all my vulnerability. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the other person is going to value it. We've seen plenty of relationships where that
Facts.
happen.
Yes.
Yes.
But when you're talking about somebody who's going to do it because they don't even have a reason.
Right.
That's stupid love. Is that what we're going to call that, stupid love? Hey, man, sometimes you got to be in that situation to face all your problems when they get deep. We getting later in life, right? You know what I'm saying? I got to look at my wife. My wife might be the last person I see on this planet. When my mother's gone, when my uncles are gone, I'm going to be standing next to a person that I got to look at for the remainder of my life.
Okay.
And I have to have that vulnerability to give her just everything. I can't be
guarded.
I can't not communicate, even with however I'm communicating.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to turn to this person and say, "This is how I feel.
Yep.
This is, I'm lonely." Because a lot of people break up when their parents die and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They just go to shambles because the grief will kill you.
Right.
Jeez.
But in that particular case, now you're looking at the person where you have to be completely vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that you, like, even if it's not communication, you already know that person is going to be there, your rock or a switch. Maybe they're not rock people. Maybe, like I said, maybe not communication. They don't talk all the time. But the time you need them, the time you need to go talk to that person,
Yep.
y'all break y'all silence. You need that person to be on your side. You need that person to listen to you, even if just a little bit. Even if you, like I said, you don't communicate, you say, "I feel bad."
Yep. So, from all the conversations that we've had, from the fields up to long-term relationships and everything in between, name for me, I want to say 5.
Go ahead.
Give me 5 skills. 5 skills that you would tell anybody that's going into a relationship you gotta have.
First of all, get some water up in here. That's one skill. We ain't no water on this set. No? Okay.
We wrapping up. I mean, if we got 5 skills, I think, it's cliche. It's cliche, but the ability to communicate.
Okay.
Okay. And with that communication, I'm gonna have to say you gotta have a intimate relationship with the truth. You have to know what honesty is.
Okay. Honesty. Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
Okay.
You have to. Because that's gonna breed the trust. The trust is what's gonna bond.
You want honesty or evidence?
Oh.
I didn't
Okay.
know there was two different. So
Of
I'm gonna
course.
go honesty.
Okay.
I'm gonna go honesty. So I'm gonna go communication. I'm gonna say you need to have an intimate relationship with the truth. For me, you're gonna have to be willing to be transparent and vulnerable. Right?
Yeah.
That's 3.
Good work.
You're going to have to be able to overcome difficulty and adversity.
Yeah.
Period. If the point of the relationship is to sustain, and you have it in your mind, the moment something big comes up, I'm out of here.
Right.
Then you got nothing.
Right.
Right. You got nothing. So that breaks down everything. And I guess the number 5 would be the willingness to put your partner ahead of you. Right? And in many aspects.
Yep.
And what their wants and needs are and what they're happy. If I'm saying you want to have a healthy relationship, if it's going to be one-on-one and it's going to be monogamous and all of these types of things, I'm saying you got to want your partner's happiness has to make you happy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your partner's success has to do something for you.
Right.
And if you're a person that looks at your partner's happiness and your partner's success and it don't bleed into your heart,
Right.
then
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? So
Good
those are my
qualities.
5 things.
Right.
Go ahead.
I would say going back to what we no. I would.
I
say,
use all the good ones.
no.
Ditto.
Hey, I got some better ones. I would say, first of all, you do have to like me. Overall, positive regard is still one of my top ones because I got to be able, if I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to be non-guarded and defensive, then I have to know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm your person and you just like to be around. Who don't like to be around
Right.
somebody in a relationship? You're in the wrong relationship if you don't like to be with the person next to you.
Correct.
That's like first. Love, blah, blah. Like, hey, man, we just like to be with each other. We just like to chill. We don't even have to say nothing. We can sit in this spot right here. I'm glad it's you is here, and I want you to be here.
I agree.
You know what I mean? After that, we're talking about soft startups. I need to have a soft startup. I need, regardless of the situation, there's going to be hot situations. There's going to be a lot of different ones. But most of the time, if you like me, I'm going to come to you with a problem with a soft startup.
Right.
Hey, we got a problem. Not hot and out the coils, and I don't like you. Because when I approach you like this, I don't like you.
Right.
Man, what's all these damn problems we got? You don't like me if you do that.
Right.
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 You got some contempt or something.
Right.
But if you look at, and this is, trust
Handle
me.
with care. Remember that?
Yeah, hey.
Handle with care.
That's for real. You got to go to that person like you like them.
Right.
I didn't have that skill before. I have that skill now. When I go to my wife, I go to her with kindness and tenderness. Why? Because I got skills? Well, yeah, but I like her.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you should act.
Right.
I had to think about that one. Don't you like her?
Yeah.
Well, go to her like you like her.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Before somebody else does. But dig, I had to go to her soft. Hey, even when I got a problem, my problems don't look the same no more.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I do have a problem with that, but let me talk to you in kindness and health and like I got some regard for you.
Yep.
After that, after the like and the regard, I got to be able to repair. Because I'm not going to get it right all the time. That goes back to positive regard again.
That's very good.
I want to go back. Damn, I really messed. Ooh, I was acting like a jerk. It's almost like watching everybody play sports and the coach show you on tape like, you like, you missed the tackle. I mean, this is great. Hey, you missed the tackle. No, I didn't, coach. There
right
you
here.
are,
Yeah,
missing
yeah,
the
yeah.
tackle.
Right.
You
Yep.
didn't even know that you missed it. I thought I was in front of that dude.
Right. But I just showed you.
Right.
Yep.
So okay, you got to go back in with repair.
That's great.
Don't you like things that you like to fix? Remember that damn old ass bike you had? You just kept patching it up and repairing it. You didn't even go get another bike.
Right.
You just an inner tube. Remember the inner tube? You could have just went and got another inner tube. But patch.
No,
You had
right.
some value in it. You wanted to ride that bike. So now you got to go back and repair. I'm sorry. I did that wrong.
Right.
Not, you know what I mean? No.
Right.
Nah, I really didn't. That wasn't my
one.
Yeah. Hey,
I should have put well one. That was a
hey,
good one.
that wasn't my best. I've broken all the way down. You went to my growth. I've broken all the way down to, I just effed that one up. That was terrible. I'm sorry.
Repair.
Right.
I'm really sorry. Like, because
Yeah.
I like you. You know what I mean?
Got repair. Yeah,
Repair.
Three.
Yeah,
That's
three.
three.
And these are falling in succession because these are things, that you do when you like somebody. So repair. So after I repair that, I have to be able to we have to express our feelings in a clinical way. Because you don't express your feelings in a sane way. There's skills to that. There's skills to those statements that you have to check out your defensiveness, check out your whatever it is.
Right.
And have to say, and I like what you said earlier. You was like, look, this. I get it. I thought I had skills one time. I went in and I didn't use none of them. I just thought this was, I got to sit back. And first you're like, well, why are you getting all clinical? Well, because that's what we need help.
Right.
We need assistance from time to time to speak those things out. So we have to speak in a way. You go to your job, right? Business, teacher, you speak in a way that you want something done at that particular profession.
Correct.
So now I got to speak. This is actually how I feel. And this is why I feel this way. And then that person, it might be contrite, but like, well, I receive your feelings. And it might seem contrite, but that's what you got to do because you don't do it.
Right.
Other than that, you're yelling at each other.
I agree.
And the last one, I think this the last one is to do those things all over again. I had a bad day. Let me try that again.
Right.
Not to wash off. I didn't do it right on Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Let me go back to the beginning and do it over again and see if I can get it right. Then tie that Wednesday to a Thursday, that Thursday to a Friday. And then when you get to Saturday and you have a bad day, it's not that bad because you already had these other 4 days.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You already stepped there. So
Right. Well,
and some water for number 6.
I'm gonna steal some of what
Bring
you
us
guys
home.
say. So, one, I'm gonna start with progressive communication. We start out, we don't know how to communicate, but if we progress and get better at communication, just keep trying. Just keep trying, knowing we've got to be able to identify. Okay, it's not working. I got to get better at it, and hopefully, I can get my partner better at it too.
Right.
So, progressive communication. You talked about it, but I'm gonna make it use care. Care. You have to care about the other person. Otherwise, why the hell am I even trying?
You gotta exhibit that care.
You gotta demonstrate that care.
There
They
you
gotta
go.
be able to see it.
There you go.
They gotta be able to feel it.
Yeah.
That this is real. So then I will
It's
also
another show.
lead
I
to,
remember it's another show, but we've lost that care.
Yes.
We're very harsh with each other as a community. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So between progressive communication, care, the other one is respect. Is this a person I respect to the point where I don't want to hurt them?
Yeah, that's
So it goes
huge.
back to care, but it's a different
That's
kind of a
huge.
different ball game.
That's actually huge.
Esteem.
So respect for me is integrity. It's integrity. I'm not going to lose myself in this relationship. But if you think about those first three things that I said, I'm not putting myself first. I'm communicating, but why am I communicating? I'm communicating for the relationship.
Okay. Okay.
I care about you. Why do I care about you? Because we can't have a relationship if I don't care and demonstrate that care for you. Respect, if I don't demonstrate that for you, if I don't give that to you, if you don't feel that, we fail in a
Correct.
relationship.
Right.
But then ultimately, that integrity, all that care and respect has to come from me. I have to be real. I have to be honest, right?
Respect.
But I also have to be thinking about who am I? Who am I? And I want to be able to be myself in this relationship. So that integrity is there. And then lastly, I'm probably just going to say overall, here's where you start getting clinical or whatever, but
Please do.
we got to have emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Got to have emotional intelligence. That's missing from most relationships. That's what Gottman Institute and all of their work is all about.
It's
Now,
skills.
It's the skills, but you got to get over those emotions and not thinking from the emotions, So that emotional intelligence or that emotional, what is that, EQ, you know, IQ and EQ, you got to have that. So those things to me are the five: progressive communication, care, respect, integrity, and emotional intelligence. Those are the things. And I think if we take those 15 things that we said,
Jeez.
only a couple of them repeated. Only a couple of them repeated. We could write a book.
I thought I hogged them up from all of y'all.
Hey,
I thought y'all was gonna be able to say nothing.
hey,
but
no, they said no, but we got more game.
Right. And on that note, with more game, fellas, we're going to wrap it up. We just had a great conversation on interpersonal relationships. Man, I think that was just great altogether. On GP.
On GP.
On GP.
On GP. The Growth Plate. Thank you for listening.
This episode of the Growth Plate.
In the end, we leave the table better. We feed your mind. Growth is up to you. Growth is up to you.
This episode of the Growth Plate.
In the end, we leave the table better. We feed your mind. Growth is up to you. Growth is up to you.